Hello, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Uh, if you haven't watched my previous video, I'm an Elder Scrolls Online player, playing mostly PvP in the no CP campaign. And this is a build video for the Magicka Sorcerer for the Summerset patch. So let's go over the sets and stats. So first stats. These are basic stats, no buffed. So we have 33k max magicka, 19k max health, and 11k max stamina. On the recoveries, we have 1800 magicka recovery and 835 stamina recovery. Spell damage, we have 2100, and that's basically here over the base stats. Notice that we have 20k spell critical, but it's perfectly normal in no CP campaign. It's just what it should be, and that's it. Notice that our resistances is quite high compared to other light armor builds, and that is because of our sets that we are using. So let's go over it really quick. So we are using first is 5 piece shackle breaker. So this set is really bread and butter, really the best in slot nowadays for Magicka Sorcerer. We are using it 5-1-1, 5 light, 1 heavy, 1 medium armor. So in the big pieces we are running infused with prismatic enchants besides the head. I will go over the head and shoulders later. Uh, the rest is impen with max magic enchant. So this is the Shackle Breaker set. Our next set is 5 pieces of Lich. So basically we have 3 jewelry, and now with the Summerset update, Staffs now grants 2 piece set bonus for each set that we are using. So basically, we have the Zaven's Doom staff. It's a unique staff dropped from the last bust of Crypt of Hearts. That is the dungeon that you get a Lich from. And we have the Resto staff of the Lich that I just farmed it. Shouldn't be taking you too long. Uh, So that's for the Lich. So we are using 3 spell damage. Uh, if you are struggling with sustain, you can change 1 spell damage with stamina recovery or magical recovery. Um, so what is this Lich set? If you don't know this set, it is a very good set that gives you a lot of magical recovery. So basically, it gives flat magical recovery, maximum magicka, another recovery, and the fifth piece is a proc. When you cast an ability while under 33% magicka, your magical recovery is increased by 1000 for 20 seconds. This effect can occur once every 1 minute. So basically, if you look on our stats, when I proc Lich, before I proc Lich I have 1800, and after I will proc Lich, let's see what are we getting. Okay, so we have 3.2k magic recovery, so it's crazy, especially for non-CP PvP. It's really crazy. So make sure you get that set. You get it from Crypt of Hearts dungeon, and that's for it. Now the 2 piece and the new thing in my build basically is two-piece pirate skeleton. So if you don't know this set, it was very popular back in one Tamriel patch. So now I decided to use it again, and it's really great. Fits just in the place for my build. So let's read it. So the one piece gives you basically 3k resistances, physical and spell resistance. And the two piece is also a proc. When you take damage to your health, you have a H chance to transform into a skeleton and gain major protection and minor defile for 12 seconds, reducing your damage taken by 30%, but reducing your healing received and health recovery by 15%. This effect can occur once every 15 seconds. So basically, this set makes our Sork really tanky. It gives major protection that is crazy. Okay, it is really enormous and it's really effective in no CP and battlegrounds. So I really recommending using it. If you don't like it for some reason you can use Engine Guardian. It is also really good. Gives you a lot of recoveries. Uh, so I do recommend Pirate Skeleton for the tankiness and for the sustain and for the resistances, but do whatever you like. I personally like to play very aggressively, so I do need this tankiness when I get into fights with 3, 4, 5 people. So it's important for me. I haven't mentioned it, but this build is for solo PvP in no CP campaign. So make sure you notice that, and you can change this build to fit into CP campaigns really quickly and really easily. What I would do is I will probably replace the prismatic enchants with magic enchants, and that is pretty much it. So okay. Now let's go over the skills. So we have Endless Fury, Execute, Crystal Fragments. That's our burst DPS together with Hunting Curse. So we have the first pulse. This is our spammable and Hardened Ward. So I know a lot of people uses Destructive Clench. Where is it? Destructive Clench or Destructive Reach with the Master Staff. So it's not bad, it's really good actually, but the thing is that in this patch and also in the prior patch, basically everybody uses it. I mean, Sorks started using it, Magicka Nightblades used it all the time, Magicka Wardens are now using it, so basically everybody is using it. What made Magicka DKs uh, use Dragonfire scale. It is a skill of the Dragonite class that basically reflect projectiles. I think it's up to 4 projectiles, and because I most of the time play solo, and I play against large groups of mostly 5 up to 6, 7 people. Um, of course, most of the time it's a lot less, like about 1, 2, 3 max. But most of the time I get to situations mostly after I kill a bunch of people, and then the Zerg comes. So I have um, chances are higher that I will use this destructive clench and will basically hurt myself because it will be reflected back at me, and what will make me use my stamina to break free. So I most of the times got to situations where I burned most of my stamina over skill that I generated. I did to burn stamina of my opponent. So I stopped using it, and instead of this, I use force pulse. I like the mechanics much more, and you can cast it over DKs with the Dragonfire scale. It still hits them, and it hits them hard. So you can time the first pulse with the execute and curse right on time, and you can kill them as any other player, no matter if they are light armor, heavy armor. It works and all good. So in the back bar, we have our shields, harness, magicka, and healing ward. We are of course using a restoration staff. Streak, basic for PvP with the Magicka Sorcerer. It's good for escape, good for stun, turnarounds, basically all. Power Surge is good, mainly for the major sorcery. Boost up our damage from 2100 to 2500, really good. And it gives us a heal once at a time. So that's for the Power Surge. So this is your flex spot. Basically, I like to use the Daejuk Minefield again because of my offensive playstyle. Most of the time I get to fight with 3, 4 people, and that is the perfect opportunity to put on mines. I can put on mines. They just rush on me, and then I can rotate between my mines and time my curses, combos, and all, and I can succeed in killing small groups by myself. So I personally like it very much. I know there are people that put here Boundless Storm or uh, Dark Conversion, but I do recommend that if you don't put here mines, you should really use Light Champion. That's the ultimate of the Restoration Staff skill tree. It's really good, it gives you a boost of heal, and it combos really well with the Dark Conversion heal. So if you do replace Minefield, so change the Overload. Um, Now let's go over the Overload bar. Pretty basic. I have a rapid maneuver just for getting around faster in Cyrodiil and not being stuck in riding most of the time. Dark Conversion, that's a very important skill. Basically, we give stamina for health and magicka. I will make an example to how to use it later. Defensive rune. So that's a skill that basically if someone hits you, it gets stunned. It's really good, mostly for escapes. Boundless Storm gives you resistances and major expedition for runaway again. Notice that we get on when we activate Boundless Storm, we have very high resistances that are a little bit less of a heavy armor build, in example, and that's because of the a major resolve, major ward that we have from the Boundless Storm and from the Pirate Skeleton, of course. So very important, very helpful. Uh, makes you even more tanky. And hardened ward again for the runaway. So basically, what I do if I get to a tight situation, I mostly go around some terrain, probably tree or a rock and something like that. And when people chasing me, so when I get to the round, I just turn around, streaks out, overload, and then dark conversion. That gives you enough time to just put out about two dark conversions, and which make you almost full if you about 15-20% health. So it's really good. Again, you put on defensive rune, bound of storm, and you go back and do the fight with streak. So that's pretty much it. Um, that's for the skills. For the consumables, I use immovability potions. Probably best for Sorks, makes you burn a lot less stamina. I really recommend those. If you can't afford it, then you can buy those from the uh, from the Aligned Points merchant, or you can just go for regular potions like these, or uh, these are made tripods. It's also really good. What you can afford is good, but make sure you have a main resource potions on you. I use the Witch Mother's Potent Brew. Gives you max Magicka, max health, and Magicka recovery. If you can afford yourself, you can go for the Clockwork Citrus Fillet. It adds also health recovery. I can't afford it. As you can see, I have 16k right now. That's all I have right now because I made my equipment gold. Uh, so that's pretty much it. Um, For the Mundustone, I use the Mage Mundustone. I am a vampire. For the Supernatural Recovery passive. And of course, I use 511, 5 light armor, 1 medium armor, and 1 heavy armor for the Undaunted passive. That gives you about 2k resources. It's really important, especially in no CP campaign and Battlegrounds. It's important to max out your character because every point of resource is crucial for your success in 1vx. Because it's harder here than it's in the CP campaign. I don't know if I mentioned, but I use Dawnbreaker of Smiting, but you can use Shooting Star. It's really good, but it just costs a lot more, and I personally like to use Dawnbreaker of Smiting. It's cheap, and the damage differences is really low. Sometimes even Dawnbreaker will give you overall more damage because of the dot damage over time. So that is pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, uh, feel free to ask me what you want in the comments below. And for more content, please subscribe. I all the last 24 hours was testing sets and a lot of things like that. So I hope you enjoy the video. Um, Bye bye.